Is killing people at rates never seen before, and tonight a group in one neighborhood is working to do something about it. Local 12's Anjanette Levy is in Mount Washington with that story. Hi, Anjanette.
Hi, Cammie. You know, people who live here in Mount Washington say it's not uncommon to see people dealing drugs right out on the street. And there are a group of people who live here who say they are simply sick of seeing people dying after getting hooked on drugs.
Thank you to everyone for showing up.
For Sheryl Arbogast, the heroin epidemic is personal. She has a family member who was addicted and is now in recovery.
Anyone who's walked in my shoes knows exactly how difficult it is and how many mistakes you make before you really start to have any success in figuring out what's the proper thing to do or not do.
It actually becomes morphine again in your body.
Arbogast is a member of Mount Washington's Prevention First Action Coalition. They've been meeting since July to figure out ways to fight the heroin epidemic in the neighborhood.
We're seeing drug deals happening in parking lots and overdoses that were found dead in Stanberry Park, and we were like, we just can't keep turning our backs on this.
You can ask questions along the way.
Tonight, the coalition had its first educational meeting. Talbert House counselors talked about opiates and why they are so addictive, and why addiction is a disease without a cure. Rick Metter also serves on the Mount Washington Coalition.
People were dying. Everyone has seen the number of heroin overdoses climb in our nation and in our communities in Cincinnati.
Sir, are you okay?
Metter and others were shown how to administer Narcan, which reverses a heroin overdose. Metter's work on the coalition is also personal.
In the past 8 years, I have personally known 2 people who have died from heroin overdoses, and that brings it home.
Nearly everyone in this room has been touched in some way by the heroin epidemic. Everyone left here with a Narcan kit and hopefully a greater understanding of the problem.
You can't prosecute somebody into not being an addict. We need to have compassion, and we need to understand it in order to have that compassion.
And as you could probably tell from looking at the video, it was a full house here tonight. The Talbert House people who were here handing out those Narcan kits were actually concerned they might run out, but thankfully they didn't. Now, Mount Washington's Action Coalition, they're going to continue meeting. They said they've already held a prescription drug take-back event, which was very successful, and they're looking at other ways that they can reach out to the community to help addicts and to educate people about this problem. Reporting live in Mount Washington, Anjanette Levy, Local 12 News. Cammie, back to you.
Anjanette, thank you. Talbert House has another session that's scheduled 2 weeks from tonight. It's in Pleasant Ridge.